From the Constitution State of Connecticut comes the story of an amazing young lady. That young lady is Marissa Walker, a recent graduate of Waterford High School in Waterford, Connecticut. As a youngster, Walker was an exceptional multi-sport athlete with natural talent who was projected to have a very bright future.
I grew up running outside with my sisters, playing basketball, running on the slip and slide and kicking the soccer ball around. We'd go ride bikes. I mean, we did everything.
At a very young age, Marissa was certainly one of the best athletes that I've seen at 8 or 9 years old. She could run like the wind. She could throw a ball. She could hit. I remember fellow PE teachers talking to me, PE teacher that had her in school and saying, my gosh, this girl is incredibly gifted.
That changed forever on February 2nd, 2009, when the then 9-year-old Walker was diagnosed with osteosarcoma and had a massive tumor on her left knee that needed to be removed.
My grandmother, who recently passed away a couple years ago, she had lymphoma. She had relapsed with lymphoma, and I remember sitting in the car driving to go visit her, and I was like, wow, I just am so glad that this never is going to happen to me. And then a couple weeks later, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma.
When Marissa was diagnosed, Marissa's father, my brother, Pete, we were both operating a baseball and softball training center, and I knew that she had an issue with her knee and she was getting it checked out, and then we got word and he disclosed to me what the outcome was, which was incredibly devastating.
To address this, Walker underwent 10 weeks of chemotherapy followed by limb salvage at University Hospital in Newark, New Jersey, where doctors removed 70% of her femur.
They had to remove my growth plate as well because the tumor was just masking it, so they had to take that out. And because I was still growing, I was only 9 years old, they needed to put in this expandable prosthetic where every 3 months I'd grow a little, like maybe a centimeter or two. They'd go in, they'd put my leg in this like tube, like kind of like a CAT scan looking thing, but it would melt a piece of plastic in my leg and it would expand. So it was like 3 months of growing in 10 minutes. So I'd wake up and I would be in a lot of pain. I got used to it over the courses of doing it, but it was kind of this never-ending cycle of, okay, I'd get a lengthening, that's what it would be called. I'd get a lengthening, I'd go to PT, I'd try and build up muscle and my flexibility, and then 3 months later when I'm starting to feel good, I grow again and I have to do it all over again.
Yeah, when Marissa would come into the clinic and people would ask her what she's dealing with as a youngster, they would assume it would be a knee sprain, and it would be she would tell her situation, and it would be the jaw-dropping moment for a lot of my patients. And it was good for my patients to see just how lucky that they have it, and it put things into perspective for them, how quickly your health and well-being can be taken from you.
There's been some times when he's had to crank on my leg because it would be stuck from scar tissue and we'd have to break through it. I mean, different exercises that I'd have to do where I'm dripping in sweat. It became a hobby of mine. Like, what do you do in your free time? Well, I go to physical therapy 3 times a week.
I mean, she had her last surgery in January, and we waited 2.5 years to have that surgery. And it's hard being in high school and being a teenager and a female in general. And she does very well in school, but there's been a lot of tears.
Marissa is definitely a cancer conqueror. There's so many people that have battled this disease, and unfortunately some have succumbed. Many have succumbed. And Marissa is one of the lucky ones, but I believe there's a lot of that fight in her that is visible to anyone that comes in contact with her.
Along the way, Walker has been involved with several anti-cancer activities, including Waterford High School's annual softball, the Play for a Cure game, with Stonington High School.
Going back every year and being an honorary guest, it always meant a lot to me, obviously. And I always would watch on the side. But now, being able to actually play, it makes me speechless that I get to be a part of the game now.
What we found was that spirit to compete was still present. She found a way through the game of softball, picking up the ball, being in the circle, being able to compete, and she thrived in it. And cancer certainly did not win the battle. She conquered it, for sure. And she's got a spirit about her that is certainly unconquerable. And even going into the season, if she didn't play, she would still have been a winner for me and for anyone else that knows her.
This fall, Walker will start her freshman year at the University of Miami, where she will major in nursing with an eye toward working in the field of pediatric oncology.
I recently just lost my best friend from osteosarcoma. He relapsed 4 times. His name was Merrick Tucker. And he's the reason I kind of do what I'm doing. And I go to this camp called Camp Rising Sun, and it's a cancer camp. I've been going for 6 years, and I've met so many amazing kids that have been through more than me. So I want to be able to inspire that little kid that is struggling, be like, hey, I was in your spot not too long ago, and you're gonna get through it, and it's gonna stink, but you're gonna get through it, and it's gonna be a life-changing experience. And as tough as it is to deal with it later on in life, I wouldn't change anything that happened to me, because I'm a better person because of it, and you will be too.
It's her calling. It's definitely, she will be amazing. And I think of Marissa, and she's not someone who will get spooked easily. She's tough.
Just last fall, she actually came to me and insisted, she didn't request, she insisted that we do something to raise awareness for childhood cancers. And that turned into a pretty big fundraiser and events at a basketball game. And it was all really driven just by, her will.
The thing that really strikes me about Marissa that I think speaks volumes of her is that she goes and she wants to contribute into the future and help people who have similar diseases as she does. I think that's an awesome thing.
Merrick, I mean, I don't want to talk about him too much, but I think of him every day. And what 18-year-old deals with losing their best friend? Not many. I have to think of memories that are positive, and that little sense of normalcy when I'm out on the field is something that I will hold on to forever, because I have a tendency to feel not so normal, but I'm blessed to be out here playing, and I need to remember that every single time. I'm blessed to make it to first if I get the opportunity. I'm blessed to be in the uniform. I'm blessed to play catch with my friends. I'm blessed to hit in the batting cage. Like, there's so many things that people take for granted on the softball field, and that's my one goal every day, to keep teaching the girls on the team, like, you are so lucky to be playing the sport you love. You are so lucky to be out there diving for balls, getting dirty, sliding into second. Like, I still can't do some of that, and I would kill to. But the little things that I get to do are why I continue it, because without it, I wouldn't be Marissa.
And so, in recognition of her many outstanding accomplishments and tremendous resolve in the face of adversity, Marissa Walker is the 2018 recipient of the National High School Spirit of Sport Award.
What an inspiration. Let me now invite Jerome Singleton, president of the Nfhs Board of Directors, to join me on stage. Jerome will be presenting a plaque to the school, and I will be presenting the trophy to Marissa. I would also invite Marissa's parents to join us on stage, along with her softball coach and uncle, Andy Walker. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, please recognize from Waterford High School in Waterford, Connecticut, our 2018 Spirit of Sport Award winner, Marissa Walker. And Jerome is presenting the plaque to Andy Walker, Marissa's softball coach and uncle. And let me introduce Pete and Carrie Walker, Marissa's parents. This is terrific. Thank you. One final recognition for our 2018 Spirit of Sport Award winner, Marissa Walker.